Okay. See, the digestive system of cockroach, to understand it better and to remember it, very important it is from your exam point of view. Reason is they give it to you for 5 mark questions and you have to draw a neat label diagram with 10 parts of it you have to label. And I've told you that you can remember this digestive system by comparing with human being. So in a human being, the digestive system consists of the mouth, which has a tongue, and this tongue leads into this, opens up into a tube-like cavity called as esophagus. In human beings, I'm talking about. Esophagus leads to the stomach. Stomach, it leads to the small intestine. Small intestine is made up, divided into three zones: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. And this ileum opens up into the large intestine. So large intestine is of three parts: the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and in this colon, it finally opens up into the reservoir of waste materials, that is the rectum. And rectum opens outside through the anus. This is the digestive system in case of human beings. Now, when you look into the digestive system of cockroach, which is an arthropod, it is much more similar, simpler type of it. Even they have salivary glands, salivary reservoirs are there, and the hypopharynx leads into the esophagus. So esophagus, it's opening up into crop. So there is no stomach. Instead, we have this crop region. Below the crop region, you have this gizzard. So gizzard is not there in human beings. So gizzard, when we were doing the dissection part of it, I told you that we were doing it inside out to expose those blades. So 6 blades, muscular blades, were there to grind the food. So for any type of food could be ground there. So it is almost mechanical digestion takes place in the gizzard, and this gizzard leads into hepatic CK. So in between the gizzard and the gut region, you have this finger-like protrusions called as hepatic CK, almost an analogous organ similar to that of liver in case of higher animals. So this mesenteron, in between the mesenteron and the helium, you have this small yellow thread-like structures called as Malpighian tubules. So these Malpighian tubules are excretory in function, similar to kidneys in higher animals. So the helium then leads into the colon. Okay, so colon opens up into the rectum, which is a reservoir of non-digested food materials, and finally they are thrown out through the anus. So the non-digested or undigested food materials are thrown out through the rectum. So these are the uh, different parts of the cockroach. So the alimentary canal, for our study purpose, it is divided into three parts: the foregut, midgut, and hindgut. So you have to remember three parts are there in the alimentary canal of cockroach: the foregut, midgut, and hindgut. So very, very important from a diagram point of view. Frequently asked question in your syllabus, PU syllabus. Uh, so where they ask you to draw this neat label diagram of digestive system of cockroach. And I told you don't worry too much on the outline of it. Rough outline is sufficient, because I find many of you just get lost trying to draw this outline of it. So give more importance for the different components of the digestive system. So that is more important, and labeling of it should be perfect. So let us discuss one by one the different parts of these digestive system. See, the foregut, what is it made up of? It is lined by cuticle. So foregut is lined by cuticle. It includes, the foregut includes from the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, crop, where it food is stored, just like the stomach, gizzard, which is proventriculus. So these are all the components of foregut. So whenever we are discussing about foregut, it starts from the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, crop, where the food is stored, gizzard, which is proventriculus. All these components together, we call it as foregut. So in between the foregut and hindgut, midgut, you have this finger-like protrusions called as hepatic CK. Now gizzard, it helps in grinding the food. It has an outer layer of thick circular muscles, and thick inner cuticle. So the inner cuticle is forming six chitinous plates or teeth. So mechanical digestion takes place in gizzard. So gizzard is helping in grinding the food. Okay, so we use this word thin karksod. So that is what is noticed in case of cockroach. Anything that they eat, so they are initial mechanical digestion is done by the mandibles, which has teeth-like structures, and then in the gizzard, major mechanical digestion takes place. So the gizzard helps in grinding the food. It helps in bringing about mechanical digestion of food. It has an outer layer. Gizzard has an outer layer of thick circular muscles, and thick inner cuticle is there, which forms six chitinous plates or teeth within the gizzard. Six chitinous plates or teeth within the gizzard. So the next component is midgut or mesenteron. So foregut. Then the next one is midgut or mesenteron. So the foregut is lined by cuticle, but midgut is not lined by cuticle. That is one difference. They have 6 to 8 tubules at the beginning of the at the junction of the foregut and my midgut. They have 6 to 8 tubules, which we call it as hepatic or gastric CK. They secrete digestive juice. Okay, so liver secretes bile juice in higher animals, isn't it? Here they are going to secrete, hepatic CK secretes the digestive juice. So they are found in between the junction of foregut and midgut. So the 6 to 8 tubules are there, which we also call it as hepatic CK or gastric CK. So they secrete the digestive juice. So at the junction of the midgut and hindgut, there are 100 to 150. At the junction of midgut and hindgut, there are 100 to 150 yellow yellow colored thin filamentous structures called as Malpighian tubules. So they are excretory in function, I told you. At the junction of midgut and hindgut, there are 100 to 150 yellow colored thin filamentous Malpighian tubules you can notice here. The hindgut, it is broader than the midgut and lined internally by cuticle. See, externally it was by cuticle in case of the foregut. So midgut, they do not have a cuticle layer. So it is lined by cuticle layer in case of this hindgut. So hindgut includes ileum, colon, and rectum. So hindgut includes the components like ileum, colon, and rectum. Rectum opens out through the anus. So that is the case of digestive system of cockroach. So the alimentary canal of cockroach is divided into foregut, midgut, and hindgut. So foregut includes the components like mouth, pharynx, then there would be the uh, esophagus, crop, and gizzard. So these are the components of the foregut. So the junction between the foregut and midgut, we have 6 to 7 tubules, which we call it as hepatic CK or gastric CK, we also call it as. So they secrete digestive juice. So the midgut is lined by, it is not lined by cuticle. Only the foregut and hindgut are lined by cuticle. So remember about that. The circulatory system, what you can notice in case of the circulatory system of cockroaches. Okay, so you can notice that the blood vascular system in case of circulatory system of cockroaches, open type of circulatory system, you notice that is they do not have blood vessels which conducts the blood. So they do not have blood vessels like arteries, veins, and capillaries are absent. So the heart pumps the blood directly into the body spaces. Okay, so there are blood vessels are poorly developed, and the blood is openly pumped into space. The space, body space, we call it as hemocoel. Okay, the blood is colorless and we call it as hemolymph. The visceral organs located in the hemolymph are bathed in blood. You don't find a red colored blood. It is a colorless or white colored one which whenever you might have stamped a cockroach, you might have noticed. So they are the hemolymph. So the body spaces contain the blood. So they are directly pumped into the body spaces. So the visceral organs located in the hemocoel are bathed in the blood, which is hemolymph. Hemolymph equals colorless plasma plus hemocytes. So they have, this is the type of circulatory system that they have. So circulatory system, a few times they have asked this to describe circulatory system of cockroach. So then you are supposed to write this diagram. So you can notice the chambers of the heart, that is the anterior aorta, then the alveolar muscles. The chambers of heart is throughout the segments you are finding this chambers of heart. Then alveolar muscles are there. Hemocoel is the body space in which this hemolymph is pumped by the heart of the blood. So the circulatory system in case of cockroaches open type, the blood vessels are poorly developed and the blood is open into space called as hemocoel. So the visceral organs located in the hemocoel are bathed in blood, that is by hemolymph. Hemolymph is colorless plasma. So the components of hemolymph, it is a colorless plasma plus hemocytes. Then the heart, it consists of elongated muscular tube, okay, lying along mid dorsal line of thorax and abdomen. So whereas this heart located, so they are elongated muscular tube. So you can notice this light colored one. They are elongated, the muscular tube lying along the mid dorsal line of thorax and abdomen. So you can notice in the thoracic region as well as abdominal region, this on the midline, the muscular and muscular tube is what the heart consists of. So it has funnel shaped chambers. You can notice these, all of them are funnel shaped chambers with ostia on either side. Okay, so blood from the sinuses enter heart through ostia and is pumped anteriorly to sinuses again. So with ostia, they are having openings on either side. So blood enters through the ostia into the funnel shaped chambers. So the blood from sinuses enter heart through ostia and is pumped anteriorly to sinuses again. So that is how the circulation of blood is done by the cockroach. So you have to remember that heart consists of an elongated muscular tube lying along the mid dorsal line from the thorax and the abdominal region. It has funnel shaped chambers. So the large number of chambers you can notice, they're all funnel shaped chambers with ostia on either side. So blood from the sinuses, they enter into the uh, heart through ostia. Okay, so the blood from sinuses enter the heart through ostia and is pumped anteriorly to sinuses again. So this is how the circulation of blood takes place in the cockroach. Next that we would be studying is the respiratory system of cockroach. See, the respiratory system, it consists of a network of trachea. So the respiratory system consists of a network of trachea that open through 10 pairs of small holes. See, they don't have a lungs and other things as we have a pair of nostrils, trachea, then a pair of lungs. So the lungs have finally the trachea enters as bronchi, bronchioles, and finally they open up into the air sacs called as alveoli. In human beings, that is what is the respiratory system you notice. But in arthropods, they consist of a network of trachea that open through 10 pairs of small holes called spiracles present on the lateral side of the body. So it consists of a network of trachea that opens through 10 pairs of holes, small holes called spiracles. See, you can see in this diagram the spiracles and the trachea. Okay, so spiracles are uh, present on the lateral side of the body. Both the ends, you can notice this spiracles. The thin branches of tracheal tubes are called tracheoles. So here it is an enlarged portion of it. The thin branches of tracheal tubes are called as trachea. You know that in the windpipe, we call it as windpipe. Similar to that, they have trachea here. The thin branches of tracheal tubes, they are called as tracheoles. They carry oxygen from the air to all parts. So these tracheal tubes carry this oxygen from the atmosphere, that is the air, to all parts of the body. The opening of these spiracles is regulated by sphincters. Gas exchange takes place at the tracheoles by diffusion. So this is the spiracles. So you have the spiracles. So the opening of the spiracles is regulated by the sphincters. So sphincters open up and close it. So the gas enters through these spiracles, and they are going to enter into the thin branches of tracheal tubes called tracheoles. They carry oxygen from the atmosphere to all parts of the body. The opening of the trachea is regulated by sphincters, and the gaseous exchange, they are taking place at the tracheoles by diffusion. So the gaseous exchange is taking place at the tracheoles by the process of diffusion. So this is the respiratory system of cockroach that you have to remember about. So what is the respiratory system of cockroach made up of? It consists of a network of trachea. Okay, so trachea is the major component that opens. So the respiratory system consists of network of trachea that opens through 10 pairs of small holes called as spiracles. 10 pairs it is. So on both the ends of the segment you can find it. So 10 pairs of small holes called as spiracles present at the on the lateral side of the body. So the thin branches of tracheal tubes are called as tracheoles. They carry oxygen from the atmosphere to all parts of the body. The opening of the spiracles is regulated by sphincters. So gaseous exchange takes place at the tracheoles by the diffusion process. So the gaseous exchange takes place at the tracheoles by the diffusion process. Then the excretory system of cockroach, as in case of insects, you might have noticed that they are uricotelic animals. That is, they secrete the nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid. So such animals, we call them as uricotelic animals. So the excretory organ is Malpighian tubule. Okay, so there are nearly 150 tube-like structures, yellowish, small, filamentous tube-like structures found at the junction between the midgut and the hindgut. So they are the Malpighian tubules. They are excretory in function. So the excretory system of cockroaches uricotelic, that is, they secrete their nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid. Human being, we secrete it as ureotelic. We excrete the nitrogenous waste in the form of urea. But in case of birds, in case of insects, you notice that they are going to excrete their nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid. So that is the reason they are called as the excretory system in cockroach or birds. The insects, since cockroach belongs to insect, the insects and birds are uricotelic. So the excretory organ in cockroach is Malpighian tubules. So each tubule is lined by, you can notice here. See, these diagrams, they don't ask it for exam. Don't worry about it. It is only for explanation part. So each tubule, Malpighian tubule, is lined by glandular and ciliated cells. They absorb the nitrogenous waste. So the each tubule is lined by the glandular and the ciliated cells. They absorb the nitrogenous waste and convert them into uric acid. So that is what the Malpighian tubule does. It is excreted out through the hindgut. So this Malpighian tubules, uh, the uric acid is excreted out through the hindgut. So the fat body, nephrocytes, and uricose glands, they also help in excretion. So the fat body, apart from Malpighian tubules, the fat body, nephrocytes, and uricose glands also helps in excretion. So rarely once they have asked this nervous system of cockroach diagram in PU examination. So this has also been asked, but simple diagrams they are. Okay. So the nervous system, if you look into what is the nervous system in case of human beings, you notice a central nervous system, a peripheral nervous system, and an autonomous nervous system. The central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system consists of afferent nerves and efferent nerves, or motor nerves, sensory nerves, and mixed nerves. So that is how we have the peripheral nervous system. Then the autonomous nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So this is how we have in human beings in nervous system. But nervous system in case of cockroach, it is of primitive type. It consists of segmentally arranged ganglia. Segment wise, this ganglia is arranged, joined by paired longitudinal connectives on the ventral side. So you find the paired longitudinal connectives joining this ganglia. So the ganglia is found segment wise. Okay, so three ganglia lie in the thoracic region and six in the abdominal region. So that is what is the components of the nervous system. Three ganglion lies in the thoracic region. So you can notice that the circumpharyngeal commissure is there. After that, uh, the thoracic ganglions, you can notice them: prothoracic ganglion, mesothoracic ganglion, metathoracic ganglion. Then six abdominal uh, ganglions are there. Okay, so they are all connected. This ganglia are connected by this paired longitudinal connectives. They are connecting them on the ventral sides. So three ganglia lie in the thorax and six ganglia in the abdomen. The head holds only a bit of nervous system. The remaining part of the nervous system is situated along the ventral part of the body. So if the uh, head of cockroach is removed, it will still live for 1 week. Such examples are done. Anyway, the supra means above, the supraesophageal ganglion, esophageal ganglion towards the esophagus, what they have. So it is the brain. So the supraesophageal ganglion is the brain. So it is located, uh, so it supplies nerves to, it connects nerves to antenna and compound eye. So the supraesophageal ganglion is the brain. Okay. So there is subesophageal ganglion is also there. Circumpharyngeal commissures are also there, which connects them. Okay, circumpharyngeal commissures. So they are going to connect the nerves to antenna and compound eye. The supraesophageal ganglion is called as the brain of the cockroach. So it is going to connect the nerves to antenna and compound eyes. So the sense organs, antennae. So the other things that if you study about, so the sense organs in case of cockroach are antennae. They are sensory in function. Eyes. So compound eyes, they have maxillary palps. They are also sensory in function. You can notice this palps, maxillary palps, labial palps, anal cerci. They are all sense organs. See, anal cerci present in both male and female. They are all sense organs. Sensory receptors of antenna monitor the environment. Okay, so they help in the monitoring the environment, the sensory receptors of antenna. Each compound eye consists of 2000 hexagonal ommatidia. So okay, you can notice here, so 2000 hexagonal ommatidia are there in each compound eye, and using this, a cockroach can receive several images of an object. So this is called as mosaic vision. So the cockroach obtains a mosaic vision, several images of the object. So it has more sensitivity but less resolution, being common during night. So they help in nocturnal life. So the mosaic vision has more sensitivity but less resolution. So being common during night, so they don't require high resolution. So they are nocturnal vision favors this mosaic vision, which has more sensitivity but less resolution. So hence this is also called as nocturnal vision. So the mosaic vision of cockroach is also called as nocturnal vision. It has more sensitivity but less resolution. Then the male reproductive system of cockroach. So these diagrams are important. The circulatory system, only once they had asked, very rare, frequently asked as trophy parts of cockroach. Then you have the digestive system of cockroach. A few times, they have asked male reproductive system or female reproductive system of cockroach. So you have to practice these four diagrams: mouth parts of cockroach, then digestive system of cockroach, male reproductive system, and female reproductive system. These diagrams you have to practice a lot. See the male reproductive system. What are the components of male reproductive system? They have a pair of testes. So you can notice a pair of testes, seminal vesicles. So these are the seminal vesicles. So accessory glands. Then they also have the external genitalia. So the male reproductive system consists of a pair of testes, seminal vesicles, accessory glands, external genitalia. So all these are the components of the male reproductive system. So in the labeling, you can notice that they have this testis. So testis, through the vas difference, it is opening up into uh, the seminal vesicles, and there is an ejaculatory duct, the right phallomere, ventral phallomere. So towards the base, this is the right phallomere. Left phallomeres are here. Okay. Then they have a structure called as pseudopenis. Penis like false structure, we call it as pseudopenis. Then titillator is also there. So the anal circus and the caudal style or anal style is also noticed in case of this male reproductive system. So the major male reproductive system, they are categorized into components. It consists of a pair of testes, seminal vesicles, external accessory glands, and external genitalia. So these are the uh, components of male reproductive system. So testis generally it lies laterally in the fourth and sixth abdominal segments. You can notice this testis. Each testis, they are leading into a thin vas deferens. They enter into the seminal vesicles. From seminal vesicles, uh, they are going to exit through the ejaculatory duct and open up into the male gonopore. So from the ejaculatory duct, they open up into the male gonopore. So the seminical vesicles, as in case of higher animals also, they store sperms. So sperms are glued together. So they are not free. The sperms are all held together to form bundles called as spermatophores. So they are held together as spermatophores. So during copulation or sexual intercourse, they are discharged as spermatophores. So these spermatophores are discharged through during the copulation process or mating or sexual intercourse. So they are released as spermatophores. So the sperms are glued together to form bundles and we call them as spermatophores. So they are discharged during the copulation process. Okay, the accessory gland includes a mushroom gland in sixth to seventh abdominal uh, segments and phallic gland. So in the sixth to seventh abdominal segment, you notice this mushroom type of gland and phallic gland. So you can notice here the phallic gland, the reddish one is the phallic gland. These secretions, they nourish the sperms. Okay, external genitalia of male, they consist of gonapophysis or phallomeres.
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
yeah.
sir, should we note down all these points, sir?
I'll be sending you this PowerPoints. Okay, the previous class also I have to send it. I'll be sending you the PPTs, PDF. Okay, so here your main focus should be on remembering these contents of it. With diagram, it is easy to remember them. So practice the diagram and you can give your own self-explanation there with some points that you have that would be sufficient. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir.
See the external genitalia here, uh, they see in other higher animals, it would be just penis would be the external genitalia. So, but here the external genitalia is male gonapophysis or phallomeres. So you have left phallomeres, right phallomeres, ventral phallomeres are there. So they are the male gonapophysis or phallomeres. So there is also pseudopenis-like structures. Okay, chitinous asymmetrical structures surround the male gonopore. Okay, what is the external genitalia made up of? The male gonapophysis, or it is also called as phallomeres. So in the diagram, you can notice the phallomeres are right phallomere, ventral phallomere, and left phallomeres. So the sperms are not just released as sperms, they are held together as a bundle, which we call it as spermatophore. So the chitinous asymmetrical structures surrounding the male gonophore, you can notice. Okay, the mating process of cockroach, you can just look into it. So that is about the male reproductive system, so that you have to remember about. The female reproductive system is much more simpler. Pair of components of this female reproductive system are, it consists of two large ovaries. You can notice this ovaries, a simpler diagram it is, oviducts. So the ducts which carries this ovum or egg cell, we call it as oviducts. Then spermatheca is also there. So you can notice here this small structure is called as the spermatheca. Genital chamber. Okay, so they have genital chamber. They don't have this uterus, but genital chamber we call it as. Then the collateral glands. Collateral glands you can notice here. So almost the branch structures. These are the collateral glands. Genital chamber is there. So these are the components of a female reproductive system. It consists of two large ovaries, oviducts, the spermatheca, genital chamber, collateral glands. So they are the components of the female reproductive system. Okay. See, ovaries lies laterally in the second to sixth abdominal segment. So there you find this from the second to sixth abdominal segment. You notice this ovary. Each ovary is formed by 8 ovarian tubules. So here you can notice only around 5. The backside they have another 3. So each ovary is made up of 8 ovarian tubules or ovarioles, we call it as. So they are made up of 8 ovarian tubules or ovarioles, so containing a chain of developing ova or egg cell. Oviducts of each ovary, so they are going to unite to have a common oviduct. So oviducts of each ovary unite into a single median oviduct, and this median oviduct they call it as vagina, which opens into the genital chambers. So each oviduct from each ovary, they are going to unite into a single median oviduct. This median oviduct or common oviduct, we call it as vagina. So which opens into the genital chamber. A pair of spermatheca is present in the sixth segment. So you can notice one spermatheca here, but generally it's a pair of spermatheca you can notice in the sixth segment. This also opens into the genital chamber. So the sperms are transferred through spermatophores. Okay, their fertilized eggs are encased in ootheca. So the sperms are transferred through the spermatophores. So the sperms are transferred. They are all held as bundle. I told you they are all fused spermatophores. We call them as. So their fertilized eggs are encased oothecae. Okay. So the fertilized eggs, we call it as the encased oothecae. So they are oviparous, giving, they are laying eggs. So this is the oothecae, the encased, their fertilized eggs are encased in oothecae. Okay, oothecae is a dark reddish to blackish brown capsule. You might have noticed this cockroach egg. So 8 millimeter long. Females lay 9 to 10 oothecae. Each contain 14 to 16 eggs. So they lay 9 to 10 oothecae. Okay, this egg, it is oothecae. Each oothecae it contains 14 to 16 eggs. So you can obtain 14 to 16 nymphs from each egg. So each oothecae consists about 14 to 16 eggs. So the development of This Periplaneta americana is Porometabolous type, that is development through nymph. So the egg, they are going to give rise to a small miniature version of cockroach, which we call it as nymph. Okay, see, you can notice that so many nymphs are being formed from this Wutiki. So they are having 16, so 14 to 16 eggs. So you can obtain 14 to 16 nymphs, and they undergo, as they are growing up, they undergo molting or ecdysis. They shed their old skin, and they, you can notice this, you might have noticed this whitish cockroach which has just growing up process, they shed their skin. So ecdysis or molting you also notice in cockroach. Okay, they are porometabolous in development because their development is through nymphal stage. So that is why cockroach developmental stage is called as porometabolous, because they have a nymphal stage. Nymph looks like miniature adults. They molt 13 times. Admursala molting agate. That is, they shed their skin 13 times before they reach the adult form. The next to last nymphal stage has wing pads. Okay, so the last nymphal stage will be having this. That is the precursor to the next to last nymphal stage as wing pads. Precursor to the last nymphal stage, they would be having the wing pads. Only adult cockroaches have wings. So the nymphs and others, they don't have these wings. So only adult cockroaches will have wings. Before the nymph forms adult, they have to undergo 13 molting stages. 13 times they shed their skin, ecdysis or molting we call it as. And the next to last nymphal stage, that is precursor to last nymphal stage, they have wing pads. Only the adult cockroaches have wings. See, from a single Wutika, they have 14 to 16 uh, nymphs arise. So you should be aware about that. That is the reason eradicating these cockroaches becomes a difficult issue, because we are just eradicating the adults cockroaches using the spray and other things. So that is the reason there are many companies which know this aspect of it, and the most of the medicine part of it, they don't destroy the Wutika, rather they destroy the adult cockroaches. Okay, so they have a constant business because they are never going to eradicate the Wutikas. So they do know that the Wutikas will be producing 14 to 16 names. So still this type of Wutika they have a constant source of business. So that is the reason we are not able to completely eradicate the cockroach also. Okay, so remember about this Wutika, which gives rise to 14 to 16 names. The names undergo 6 to 13 times they undergo molting or ecdysis before they form the cockroach. A precursor stage before the last nymphal stage, you can notice the wing pad. The only the adults have the wings. Only the adult cockroaches have the wings. The development stage in cockroach is called as Paura metabolus because they have a nymphal stage during their development. So we call the development of Periplaneta americana as Paura metabolus, since they have development through nymphal stage. Okay, so economic importance, not much of importance. They are pests because they destroy food and contaminate with their smelly excreta. Okay, so they are also believed to be cockroaches are also believed to be the spreading up of the gastritis. The cockroaches are also believed to spread this gastritis. So whenever you are using utensils or any water, the glasses and other things, see to it before you use, you rinse them once. So the food also they contaminate them. So with their smelly excreta, they also transmit bacterial diseases like cholera, typhoid, tuberculosis, etc. From an by the contamination of food or water, they transmit these bacterial diseases like cholera, typhoid, tuberculosis, etc., spread by even this cockroaches. So that completes our discussion about the structural organization in animals, and also our complete chapter of uh, the cockroach also, the